So I've just come off of another friend's Facebook page where it says, they're not racist, they're anti-racism. So, but they have a problem and an issue and don't like to see the violence that's coming. First thing I want to say is, you're not there. Unless you're out there protesting, you don't see it from the beginning. Or are your friends that are out there protesting sending you videos of how it's going down, how it's really going down? As in, there are police mounted on horses, yes, charging at crowds. Okay, so then I go back to, and then what you do see is the fact that the protesters who have been running for their lives from the police that are mounted on horses, charging them, using these innocent animals as weapons, you see them then throwing things at the horses and getting vexed, and you see police people getting injured. So that's what you're seeing on the media. You don't see the first part of things. Firsthand, you don't see the first part of things because they don't want to show you that. So let's go back, all right? Let's play devil's advocate, because that's what we do as black people. We are constantly playing devil's advocate and try to see it, or try to get you guys to see it from the other side of things. All right, so here's the other side of things. When there's gay parade and gay pride, are there horses? Aren't there barriers set up so that gay people and LGBTQ people can fight for their rights and their equality in a condoned way? It's legal. When there is, and you're going to have to forgive me because I can't remember what it's called, but when there's the one that happens once a year where people cycle in the streets butt naked, yeah? Butt naked. I don't see horses then. Horses aren't sent there then. Do you realise that the fact that they're sending horses to our protests are showing that we can't even protest equally? We can't even protest equally. Where are our barriers? So that we can walk down the street and say Black Lives Matter equally. They're calling our protest illegal. But there's nothing illegal about cycling, thousands and thousands of people cycling in the street butt naked. There's nothing illegal about that. Oh, hang on, there is. There actually is. But all these other protests, all these other things can happen peacefully because the police allow it to happen peacefully, because the government say, do you know what? We agree with this. We're allowing this one to happen. We're going to stand by this one. But yet still, the government can't stand by our one. They can't stand by Black Lives Matter because that's not what they want, because they still want to oppress us. I was trying to find somewhere peaceful to say this because I don't want to say it in front of my child. I don't want to come across as an angry black woman. But that's what I am right now. I am angry. I am angry because people are posting and caring more about the horse, caring more. Understand more about the horse than about our lives. So in an ideal world, we would be allowed to protest peacefully. Allowed. And you wouldn't see the violence. But we're not. And we're angry. And you see the violence. You don't comment, and you don't congratulate the peaceful protests. Some of you. Some people are not even congratulating the peaceful protests. They're not even being like, oh my gosh, over 15,000 people turned up to march and what, a small amount happened? Or over however many people turned out to march and nothing happened? Y'all don't want to comment on that. You don't want to say anything about that. So here's the thing. For every small bit of negativity that you put out about what's going on, you're undermining it again. You're undermining it again. And that's not okay. This isn't an opinion-based story, fact of history. This is history happening right now. Absolute history. Baby, wait a second. And you are choosing to post your opinion on how history should be made. Please understand, Azira, 1 second. Please understand, I have been passively quiet for 33 years. Passively dealing with racism. We have all, not all, I guess some people have been stronger than I have. And I feel guilty that I'm even having to be like, okay, cool, you can do this, you can do this. I'm talking myself up to give my own opinion, and people give their opinions all the time. I'm trying to be like, don't come across as angry black woman. I'm telling myself that as I'm posting this. That's crazy. But that's how I've been living for 33 years. I can't actually express how I feel in case I come across as a certain kind of way and in a stereotypical black girl kind of way. That's wrong. That I feel like that is wrong. I also feel fearful because I don't know how long this window is. We don't know how long Black Lives Matter is going to be at the forefront of people's minds. It's there right now. And we all did the Tuesday and we all posted our little black thing and everything. But what happens afterwards? This isn't going to be the main news for forever. It isn't. So what happens afterwards? If I don't say something now and my kids come up to me like, Mum, in 2020, there was the world's biggest protest in the history of protesting. The world was involved. What did you do, Mum? I wrote some things on Facebook. So if your child is going to come to you in years' times, or your grandchildren, and be like, remember when 2020 happened? What did you do? Where did you stand? You know, I stood for the anti-racism, but some of the ways in which they protest were terrible. Do y'all still say that about Emmeline Pankhurst? Here's another thing for you. Martin Luther King, because that's the other thing that everyone likes to bring up, yeah? Martin Luther King was a peaceful protester. Junior, sorry. A peaceful protester. That was what he was about, yeah? And they still murdered him. Still. Because what he stood for was wrong in their eyes. And then guess what happened after that? There were 6 days of looting, rioting. 6 days. And then there was a change. Right? We've been doing this for maybe 2 or 3. I'm talking about London, okay? I'm talking about London. I'm tired of it, man. We've been quiet and dealing with it and coping with it and sort of speaking out in a way that is accepted because it's what we have to do. Because if we don't and if we speak out too much, we could lose our jobs, our livelihoods, and evidently our lives. Our lives. If we didn't do it the way that was accepted and that you guys wanted. So enough's enough. You may not like it, but tough. Tough. We've not liked it for a long time. Now, you may not agree with how it's being done, and that's okay, because in an ideal world, we wouldn't even have to walk down the street and say, Black Lives Matter. In an ideal world, there wouldn't be looting. In an ideal world, police people wouldn't turn out with horses and go charging in the crowd of London people while they're peacefully protesting. In an ideal world, none of that would happen. But that's not where we're at yet. So for the sake of I don't believe even our children are going to see the change that we all want. So for the sake of our great-grandchildren, please stop posting negative things about protests, negative things about black people. It doesn't matter how big it is. That tiny little negative post that you've posted over all your positive things is like pouring that little bit of gasoline on the fire. That thing could be almost out to somebody that you know. If you're standing with us, stand with us. Someone's racist fire could be almost out. And then you post that small thing. And then you post that small negative thing. And they're like, actually, yeah. And we're back to square one again. I don't know how to say this peacefully. I don't, because I've been crying. I'm angry. I'm hurting still. I don't know how to say it peacefully. And I do know that this is probably going to lose another few of my white friends. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I really am. Because you guys need to hear my heart. Y'all need to hear my heart. Y'all need to hear where I've been coming from for 33 years. Enough is enough. We don't want to be told what to do anymore. When you guys get to do the exact same thing in the way that you want, we still don't get to do that. Please, if I'm happy, I am more than happy for my friends. If you're questioning, if you're still like, I'm not sure, can you explain it? So long as you want to hear the answers that I have to give, so long as you want to hear the truth and not an opinion, it's not a debate. Don't call me for a debate. Have that with your other people. Don't call me for a debate. But if you want to know where my heart really lies and how I'm really feeling and what's really going down, I will share with you forever. I will share with you forever, but listen with your open heart. You have to understand, you've been taught this your whole life. I've been living this my whole life. And I don't want to live it anymore. Not in silence anyway. That's it.